And let's get going. And hello, everybody. It is Saturday, June 12th, 2021, about 9-ish p.m. And it is time for our next installment of Star Trek Radio Theater here on Live Long and Podcast. I'm Dave Mader. And on this show, we our group of podcasters bring to you Star Trek script reenactments, script reads with some creative voices, reinterpretations, and the joy of sound effects, as well as the post-production value when we do the edited versions. This week, we're doing our 17th episode of our second season here of Radio Theater. This is Deep Space Nine's Fascination. This is from their third season, 10th episode from November 28th, 1994, 2371 in terms of Star Trek years. A script by Ira Stephen Behr, James Crocker, and Philip LaZebnik. And some script editing here with Ashley Millard, myself, and Kevin Millard involved. So we're going to come off screen here, get into the script. We hope you enjoy the show, and we'll enjoy the whole cast after the fact. But let's get into it. You didn't see it either. Enjoy the cast.
We focus on Sisko's quarters. Jake is lying on the settee in the dark, looking thoroughly miserable. He's spinning a fancy Bajoran earring around his finger, looking at it like it's the cause of all his troubles. Sisko enters looking relaxed and happy.
I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you'd be down on the promenade helping Marta put up decorations for the Bajoran Gratitude Festival.
That was the plan, but turns out I don't have anything to be grateful for.
Isn't that the earring you...
Bought for Marta. Yeah, you want it? Maybe you can give it to Major Kira for her next birthday or something.
All right, tell me about it.
Marta's gone, Dad. She got accepted to the Science Academy on Regulus 3.
That's a good school.
It's 300 light years away.
Jake, you're 16. Take my word for it. You'll survive.
Jake looks unconvinced.
Sooner or later, you'll find someone else. Who knows? Maybe you'll find someone tonight at the Gratitude Festival.
Yeah, sure.
Jake, the whole point of this festival is to put all your troubles behind you and make a new start.
I could use one. Okay, I'll go.
Jake doesn't sound overly enthusiastic, but Sisko is excited he's agreed to go regardless.
Good. That's the spirit.
Yeah, I'm not going to have any fun.
Oh?
We focus on the replimat. O'Brien is getting a cup of coffee from a replicator. He sits down. The replimat is empty, except for the two of them.
Nervous, Chief?
What are you talking about?
That's your fifth cup of coffee in 20 minutes.
I didn't realize you were keeping track.
Nervous and irascible.
If you hadn't seen your wife and child for 2 months, you'd be irascible too.
Believe me, I'm looking forward to Keiko and Molly's visit just as much as you are.
Oh, I doubt that.
How many games of racquetball have we played in the last 2 months?
I don't know. 15, maybe 20.
No, try 70. I've been keeping track of that too. And you know what all those games have proved to me? That I am a poor substitute for your wife.
I could have told you that 60 games ago. The thing is, they're only going to be here for 2 days. That's barely enough time to say hello. Then they're back to Bajor again for 4 more months.
4 months? Why, that's another 150 games of racquetball. I don't think my elbow can take that kind of abuse. Maybe you can try and convince her to stay.
Oh no, I can't do that. I'm the one who suggested she go to the agrobiology expedition in the first place. No, we're going to have to make the best of the little time we have. Which means we can't waste 2 seconds or a second of the next 2 days at all.
We focus on the promenade. There are a few Bajorans that are busy putting up bright, colorful decorations on the walls and various surfaces around the promenade. Kira is sitting on a stage in front of the Bajoran temple, playing with a decoration. She has a big smile on her face and is uncharacteristically in a good mood. Odo approaches her. Peldor joy, Odo.
Peldor joy to you too, Major. Well, it's hard to believe the promenade is this empty at midday.
Calm before the storm. In a few hours, this place will be packed with Bajorans celebrating the festival.
Actually, I was thinking of joining you this year.
Really?
I don't see why not. None of my Bajoran deputies work during this gratitude festival. Why should I? Besides, if I'm going to live here with you humanoids, I may as well immerse myself in your rituals.
Well then, we'll see each other later.
I'd like that, if you're not too busy being the presider of the festival.
For you, I will make the time, Odo.
Oh.
He smiles. Just look for me. I'll be with Behr. He tries to hide his disappointment, but doesn't do a great job. Kira doesn't seem to notice.
Oh? I thought he'd be celebrating the festival on Bajor.
So did I, but I'm glad I was wrong. He's arriving on the next shuttle.
Well, you'd better go. It'll be here soon.
You're right. I'll see you at the festival. Odo nods as Kira races off. Odo watches her go, the faintest trace of regret on his face. We focus on the airlock. Kira arrives at the airlock and finds O'Brien already waiting. He's pacing and looking very impatient. Chief?
Major?
O'Brien nods towards the airlock.
Keiko!
Ah, Behr.
Good luck!
You too. The airlock opens, and unfortunately, Behr enters.
Nerys, I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, I've missed you.
I miss you too.
Kira and Behr kiss, then leave. O'Brien watches them leave, imagining his own happy reunion with his wife and daughter.
Miles! Miles!
O'Brien turns to see Keiko.
Oh, Keiko! I'm so glad to see you!
Keiko puts Molly down and then sits on the step directly in front of the door to get out of the airlock. It doesn't seem to bother her that people are trying to get out around her.
I have had the worst trip.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. Now that you're here, everything's going to be great. Hello, sweetie. You ready to have a great time with your old dad?
No!
Why not?
Je ne me sens pas si bien.
Really? Tell Papa what's wrong.
She throws up in his lap. This was not the reunion O'Brien had been hoping for, especially when he hears a familiar voice.
Oh, you poor dear.
Lwaxana Troi steps out of the airlock, dressed to the hilt.
I should never have given you all that candy.
Insert clip of Steve Shives here, Dave.
We focus on the security office. Odo is briefing his Starfleet stand-in for the festival.
I usually make it a point to drop by Quarks 3 or 4 times a day at random intervals, just to let him know that I'm thinking about him. But seeing today is a holiday, he'll be busier than usual. I suggest you station a man there full time. I think that about covers it. If you need me, I'll be on the promenade.
Lwaxana enters.
But don't call unless it's an emergency. The constable will be occupied.
Madam Ambassador.
Oh, do we have to be so formal?
She reaches over and envelopes him in a hug, kissing him on both cheeks. Lwaxana looks over at the security officer, who is surprised, to say the least.
Didn't they teach you any manners in Starfleet Academy? Be a dear, run along. The constable and I have a lot of catching up to do.
The security officer gets up, then looks to Odo.
Come back in 5 minutes.
Make that half an hour.
The security officer leaves with a grin. Lwaxana is still holding on to Odo, who slips out of her grasp.
So, what brings you to the station?
Officially, I'm here as the Betasoid representative to the Gratitude Festival. But the truth is, I came to see you, you poor, sweet, tortured man.
Excuse me?
I know the torment you must be going through. To spend your whole life searching for your people, only to discover that they're the leaders of that awful Dominion.
You heard about that.
Odo, don't worry. I'm here to help you.
What kind of help do you mean?
A sympathetic ear, a shoulder to cry on, a lap to melt in.
Well, that's very considerate of you, but unnecessary. My people are who they are, and I am who I am. I've learned to accept that.
Oh, you brave soul. Why don't we go someplace quiet and you can tell me all about it?
Actually, I was planning to attend the opening of the Gratitude Festival this afternoon.
Oh, well, even better. First a little fun and relaxation, then we can delve into the depths of your pain. I'll freshen up and meet you in front of the Bajoran Temple for the Presider's opening address. I promise you, Odo, you'll never be alone again.
Lwaxana sweeps out of the room. Odo watches her go. He's been looking forward to the Gratitude Festival, but now Kira is off with Bareil and he's stuck with Lwaxana. Perhaps it won't quite be the event he thought it would be. We focus on a turbo lift. Lwaxana enters.
Level 23, Section 8.
As the turbo lift starts to move, she experiences a brief stabbing headache.
Jesus.
She holds her temples for a second, and it passes as quickly as it came. Came is right.
Oh my.
We focus on Kira's quarters. Kira and Bareil are locked in a passionate embrace. Her outfit is much more informal than the uniform she had been wearing not that long ago. She stretches out on the chaise lounge, Bareil getting very comfortable on top of her. We need to see each other more often.
I wish we would both. We weren't so busy. I never expected Kai Wing to make me one of her principal advisors.
I think she asks your advice just so she can do the exact opposite of what you recommend.
I know you don't like Wing, but the office has changed her. The prophets choose well. So why don't you leave spiritual matters in their capable hands and concentrate on enjoying ourselves?
Bareil goes in for a kiss, but Kira turns her head and gets up from the chaise. Oh, I have to go.
Festival doesn't start for an hour.
But I have to set up the renewal scrolls along the promenade. But it won't take long. Jadzia's promised to help me.
Jadzia, of course. I've never understood how the two of you could be such good friends. She's so unpredictable and you're so...
Predictable?
I didn't mean like that. It's just that she spends so much more time with you than I do.
Jadzia and I have been doing this for the past 2 years. It's becoming a tradition.
I was hoping we can start a few traditions of our own.
Oh, we will. Later tonight. Kira gives him a quick kiss and leaves with her basket of scrolls. Barile is placated, but maybe not as happy about the prospect of later tonight as he should be. We focus on O'Brien's quarters. Keiko comes out of Molly's bedroom with an armful of toys and joins O'Brien. She looks exhausted and surly. O'Brien is just sitting around drinking a beer. You'd think a father who hadn't seen his kid in 2 months would at least want to help with bedtime.
Is she asleep?
It looks like the medicine Dr. Bashir prescribed is working.
That's a relief.
Miles looks at his wife, who's sitting opposite him, looking drained, too tired to even put down the armful of toys she has.
Rough trip.
It was a disaster. I thought it would never end.
Miles gets up from his chair and joins his wife on the couch.
Well, I'm glad you're home.
Me too.
Well, should we get ready for the festival? The babysitter will be here any minute.
The festival.
On the other hand, we could spend the rest of the day locked away in our quarters.
Miles, what I really want to do is sleep.
Then maybe you should.
Miles, I didn't say I was going to. I just meant I could use some.
That's okay. If you need some sleep, go ahead. I'll understand.
No, you won't. You'll be disappointed and you'll start brooding and stomping around just like an Andorian bull.
Look, go or stay, sleep or don't. It's all the same to me. Just tell me what you'd want to do and we'll do it.
Miles,
What your lucky charms.
Miles, I've been making decisions all day long. You decide.
Okay, we'll go to the festival. But we don't have to go right away. I mean, you could take some time to relax and change into something nice.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, like your red dress.
My red dress. Really?
Is there something wrong with your red dress?
No. It's just a little tight, that's all.
That's why I like it.
All right. If it'll make you happy, I'll wear the red dress.
Forget the red dress, okay? Just wear whatever you want.
Look, let's just try to enjoy the next 2 days. I'll change into something nice and we'll go to the festival. Okay?
Fine.
Keiko goes into the bedroom to change. O'Brien watches her go. This visit is not going at all how he'd imagined.
I can hardly wait.
We focus on outside of the shrine. A Bajoran child strikes a gong to summon the people. A large crowd, mostly Bajoran, has gathered in front of the platform where Kira stands next to an unlit brazier. Many people in the...
Uh-oh. Did they cut off?
I think so.
They're frozen.
Frozen.
Give them a second.
They'll be back.
She's going to keep reading. Like, she's going to come back, and it's going to be... And Kira holds up a flask. What is that?
They're coming back, I think. Oh, wait, no.
Do they know? Are they still talking?
That's what I mean. They might not know.
Is she still talking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're
no,
joining.
no. It's all good. They're back. Go ahead. Okay, read from a large
Are we
crowd.
back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes. Let me scroll back up.
Past
Okay.
gong. Yeah.
A large crowd, mostly Bajoran, has gathered in front of the platform where Kira stands next to an unlit brazier. Many people in the crowd are carrying paper scrolls and there are baskets of additional scrolls on either side of the platform. Among the crowd are Sisko, Dax, Bashir, Jake, Odo, and Barile. Kira holds up a flask of oil and intones an ancient ritualistic Bajoran blessing. Tessra, Peldor, Empatre, Bren. She slowly pours a clear and blue liquid into a glass tube that feeds down to the brazier. A stream of burning liquid pours from the spout into the metal brazier. Bentel, Vetan, Wulan, Sten. The brazier bursts into flames. The crowd breaks into cheers.
It was all right, I guess.
What a laugh.
Lwaxana and Odo are off to the side. She is still hanging off of him. He tries to give her a genuine smile, but it comes off as an awkward grimace instead. It's clear he is not enjoying himself. And now, I have the honor of placing the first renewal scroll into the fire. As the scrolls burn, may our troubles turn to ashes with them. She puts her scroll in the fire. The crowd cheers again, even louder. We see O'Brien and Keiko watching from the upper deck. Both are in casual outfits. Keiko is not wearing her red dress. She doesn't look happy to be there. And now, for the next 26 hours, I expect you all to enjoy yourselves. I know I will. May the prophets walk with us. As Kira comes down off the platform, Boreal grabs her hand and leads her away. He quickly touches his fingers to his temple as if feeling a headache coming on. Odo leads Lwaxana through the crowd. Jake grimaces as they pass by. He fingers his temples as well. Sisko, who is standing next to him, notices.
Jake, are you all right?
Oh, I just felt funny for a second.
You sure you're all right?
Yeah, Dad never felt better.
Something catches Jake's eye as he looks across the promenade. Jake has a goofy grin on his face as Sisko just walks away as if it no longer matters that his only son was just in pain a few seconds ago. We focus on the promenade. Kira and Boreal are walking through a crowd of Bajoran celebrants. The mood on the promenade is boisterous. Latecomers are taking scrolls from the baskets to write down their problems. The kiosk and Quarks are doing brisk business, selling jumja sticks and other treats, and there are tumblers, jugglers, and acrobats performing for the crowd. Boreal is looking around the promenade as if surreptitiously searching for someone. Kira notices. Boreal, what are you looking for?
Nothing. Just looking.
Jake comes up behind them.
Elder Joy.
Jake gives Kira a jumja stick. Boreal just wanders off, continuing his search. Oh, Jake, how thoughtful. Thank you.
I know you're busy, but can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
It's private. Kind of personal.
She looks for Boreal and calls out to him. I'll be right back. She leads Jake over to a nearby bench and they sit. It's hardly private. Now, Jake, what can I do for you?
I need some advice, you see. There's this older woman, and I think we're perfect for each other.
Ah, and she doesn't?
I don't know what she thinks.
Well, Jake, my advice is that you tell Marta how you feel. That way you'll know.
Marta and I broke up.
You broke up? Well then, who?
You.
Kira has a look of utter surprise on her face. Me?
I love you, Nerys. Want to go out with me?
Jake has a huge grin. Kira looks like someone just kicked her puppy. She doesn't know what to say. We focus on outside the shrine. Dax is reading Morn's scroll.
Morn, I can't believe a handsome, fun-loving guy like you would have so many problems. My advice to you is burn this as quickly as possible and don't look back.
He drops his scroll into the flames and walks away. Boreal swoops in and sits next to Dax.
Sage advice.
Riddick, Burial, it's good to see you.
You have such a wise, generous spirit. I only wish I had a friend like you.
I think of you as a friend.
You mean that?
Of course.
I'm glad, because I was hoping that you and I can get to know each other better. A lot better.
Boreal slides his hand onto Dax's knee. She looks horrified and bewildered.
Excuse me.
She gets up and quickly walks away. We focus on the promenade, upper level. Odo is enjoying the live music. His eyes are closed, head and arms swaying to the music. Suddenly, a hand reaches out and grabs him. It's Lwaxana, who pulls him over and begins to dance with him.
Oh, I love Bajoran music. It's so intelligent, so vital. It reminds me of you. Dance with me, Odo.
She spins him and pulls him closer. Odo looks very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, I don't dance.
Nonsense! I saw you moving to the music.
That wasn't dancing, that was the swaying.
Then sway with me, Odo. Sway with me.
She begins to spin him again.
I just remembered, I'm needed in security.
He goes running off, Lwaxana following right behind.
I'll come with you.
On his way off the dance floor, Odo stops to greet Dax. This gives Lwaxana time to catch up, entwining her arm in Odo's once again.
Hello, Lieutenant. Having a good time?
No.
Lwaxana has another bout of her headache as the pair are walking away. Dax grabs her temples as well, clearly in pain.
Oh my.
We focus on Quarks. Quark is in one of his fanciest suits, hawking his wares to the passers-by.
That's right. Genuine lady-inflated renewal scroll inscription pens blessed by Vedic Redab himself shortly before he passed away. Each pen is engraved with the words Deep Space Nine's third annual Gratitude Festival. Today's date, a lovely portion of the station by Zim. So get them while you can. They're sure to become collector's items.
Odo and Lwaxana are sitting at a nearby table. She is entranced by the jugglers and acrobats. We focus on Quark's cafe, upper level. O'Brien and Keiko are sitting at a table watching the activity at the bar below.
So, what do you say we take a walk around the promenade?
I'd rather stay here. Never thought I'd say this, but I kind of miss Quarks. The noise, the excitement, our table.
Like that clicking, but it's gone now. No, I haven't sat here since you've been gone.
It's so sweet.
So, how's the survey going?
The terrain's rougher than expected, and the ecosystem's a lot more diverse than it looked from the orbital scans. All in all, it's pretty grueling.
Really?
Don't get me wrong, I'm having a wonderful time.
That's good.
There is one problem I have to talk to you about.
Oh?
It looks like the project's taking longer than we hoped.
What do you mean, longer?
You have to understand, Miles. Every valley has a different ecosystem. There's a lot of work to be done.
How much longer is this going to take?
I'm not sure.
Try a guess. An extra couple of days? A week? 2?
More like 2 or 3 months.
You're telling me that you're going to be on Behr for another 7 months?
It's either that or ask them to find another botanist.
Well, maybe that's something they worth considering.
Are you asking me to resign?
No! But 7 more months!
I don't like this any more than you do.
You just said you were having a great time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose you'd be happier if I was miserable.
I didn't say that.
Sabara was right. I should have never mentioned it.
Who's Sabah?
He is one of the zoologists I'm working with. He warned me not to talk to you about this until after the Gratitude Festival.
And who's he to be giving you advice?
He's a friend.
A friend? I thought you were down there working.
We are working.
Yeah, with time out for our little intimate chats about our relationship. What else did you tell him about us?
Miles, you are behaving like a child. What do you want me to say?
I want you to say that you're not going back. That you're going to stay here with me.
Miles, right now, I don't even want to sit at the same table as you.
Fine. Well, go on, leave.
Keiko gets up from the table and walks away. O'Brien yells after her.
Go back to Behr and your plants and Sabah. See if I care.
We focus on the promenade, upper level. Jake is rushing through the crowd, looking around with intent. He almost runs right into his dad.
Whoa, slow down.
Hey, Dad.
I've been looking all over for you. In case you've forgotten, we're hosting a gratitude dinner tonight in the ward room. I could use your help in getting it ready.
Dad, I'm kind of busy right now. I have to find someone.
Major Kira?
How'd you know?
I just spoke to her.
Really? Where is she?
Jake takes a step and starts to look around again. Sisko grabs him.
Now, just hold on.
But I have to talk to her. You know, you were right about me meeting somebody at this festival.
I did not mean Major Kira.
You like her, don't you?
Of course I like her.
Well, so do I.
Jake, what you're feeling right now is just a crush. Look, Jake, right now you're confused, vulnerable, hurt. You miss Marta.
Marta was a mistake. She was too young and immature for me. Major Kira is a woman.
Major Kira is in love with Vedic Barile.
It won't last. He's always in Behr. She needs someone like me that can be with her all the time. Like me.
Jake, I don't want to see you hurt again.
I appreciate that, but this is between Nerys and me. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Thanks.
Jake pats his dad on the shoulder and rushes off. Sisko looks concerned. We focus on the promenade. Odo and Lwaxana are still walking around together. Odo is holding one of the fancy gold pens Quark was selling.
I really can't accept this.
Oh, but I want you to have it. It's my gift to you.
That's very thoughtful, but I have nothing to give you in return.
Being with you is the only present I need. Now come on, let's go write our renewal scrolls.
We focus on Quark's. It's extremely busy. Quark and his staff are rushing around serving guests. Just as Quark puts down a tray of empty glassware on the bar, O'Brien walks up and plops down on a bar stool, looking weary. He never fights with Bashir like this.
Elder Joy, Chief. You look terrible.
Just a little headache, that's all.
Here, have a free pen.
What for?
Write down your problems on a renewal scroll.
There isn't a scroll long enough to hold all of my problems.
Really? I thought you could sum it up with one word. Keiko. Tell
Keiko!
me I'm wrong. Yes, me, it's your fault. You should have never let her go to Behr in the first place.
What was I supposed to do? Force her to stay here with me?
Quark grabs a clean glass and a bottle of peach liquid from behind the bar and begins to pour it.
That would have been a good start. You humans, you never learn. You let your woman go out in public, hold jobs, wear clothing, and wonder why your marriages fall apart.
He puts the now full glass in front of O'Brien.
That's your solution, Quark, huh? Treat women like property.
Criticize it all you want, but on the Ferengi homeworld, husbands and wives never argue. There's no divorce, no broken homes, nothing but peaceful conjugal bliss.
If Ferengi marriages are so wonderful, why are you still single?
I haven't met the right woman yet.
Well, I have. She just walked out that door.
And out of your life.
Not if I can help it.
O'Brien jumps up from his stool and rushes out of the bar. We focus on a quiet corridor. Kira is standing beside a fire column, staring into the flames. Bareil comes rushing around the corner, not even noticing Kira is there. Bareil! I was wondering where you disappeared to. She rushes over to him, embracing him around the waist and going in for a kiss. He avoids it and doesn't look her in the eyes. Come on, you can do better than that.
Someone might see us.
We're the only people here. Everyone else is on the promenade. We have 2 hours before we're supposed to join Commander Sisko for dinner. That gives us some time to be alone together. Kira begins to kiss his chest. He stops her.
I can't.
Why not?
I have to find Jadzia.
Jadzia? Is something wrong? Kira pulls back from her embrace.
No, not at all. You know where she is?
She's probably on the promenade.
She wasn't there the last time I looked.
Why is it so important for you to see Jadzia?
I'll explain everything later.
Bareil slips away and begins to walk away, but then remembers something and turns around.
Thank you, Nerys.
For what?
For being such a good friend.
And with that, he quickly scurries away. Kira looks hurt and bewildered. Friend?
Doesn't
We
even
fo-
know her name.
We focus on the wardroom. Dax is busy setting up the large table. Sisko comes in holding a large flower arrangement.
Dax, what are you doing here?
I thought you might need some help getting ready for the party.
Thanks, but that won't be necessary. Wouldn't you rather be celebrating on the promenade?
No thanks. I don't want to run into Vedek burial.
Sisko places the arrangement on the table.
Doesn't even know his name.
Is there a problem between you two?
He can't keep his hands off me.
That doesn't sound like the Vedic burial I know.
I couldn't believe it myself, but he wouldn't leave me alone. He's probably still out there looking for me.
Have you told Kira?
I don't know how. It's going to break her heart.
Someone has to tell her. Do you want me to do it?
Would you?
Sisko sits down on the arm of a chair. Dax sits on the small table beside it.
Well, if you think it's the best way to handle it.
I'd really appreciate it, Benjamin. I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. How could I be interested in him? We both know it's always been about you.
She moves from the table to the floor in front of Sisko. She puts herself between his legs, placing her head on his shoulder and running her hands seductively up his chest. Sisko is shocked and unsure of what to do next.
Dax? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm making myself very comfortable. Have I ever told you you smell so wonderful?
You know, old man, I have to admit, you had me going there for a minute.
Oh, Benjamin, stop acting so coy. There's no one around. I have an idea. You cancel the party, And then that way we can spend the evening alone together. What do you say?
Sisko to Bashir.
Go ahead, Commander.
Meet me in the infirmary immediately.
Aye, sir.
We focus on the infirmary. Sisko and Dax are there. Bashir is examining Dax.
Her vital signs are normal. Her brain activity is normal. No sign of infection or intoxication of any kind. She's the picture of health.
I told you.
Then why did you put your head on my chest?
Oh, Julian, you should have seen his face. Admit it, you were this far away from total panic.
I think we've both been victims of a practical joke.
What a laugh.
What a laugh.
At least someone around here has a sense of humor. See you at the party, Julian.
Dax grabs Sisko by the arm and leads him out of the infirmary. We focus on the promenade.
I've never been so embarrassed in my life, making me go through all those tests.
It's your fault, Dax. You took this one too far.
If I didn't love you so much, I'd be angry with you. See you at the party.
She gives him a quick kiss on the cheek and walks away. We focus on the replimat. Kira pulls apart a decoration. She's visibly upset and has an empty glass in front of her. Jake walks up.
You look like you could use some cheering up.
Jake, do me a favor.
Anything.
Can you tell everyone my name is Nerys? Also, leave me alone. We focus on O'Brien's quarters. Molly is playing with her alien stuffed animals, one of which looks an awful lot like a targ. O'Brien enters.
Hi, sweetie.
Bonjour.
Feeling better?
Beaucoup mieux.
Ah, that's what I wanted to hear. Where's Mommy?
Dans sa chambre, triste.
Well, listen. Why don't you go and play with Piggy in your room for a while, and we'll see if Daddy can cheer Mommy up.
Molly grabs her stuffed targ and goes into her room. O'Brien heads over to the door of his and Keiko's bedroom.
Keiko! Keiko! Tato, it's me! Can I come in?
Not now, Miles.
You're right! I'm an idiot! Sometimes when I don't get me way, I can be selfish and childish and pig-headed. Childish, I mean, you know. I said some things to you that were pretty stupid, like saying childish. I wish I could take them back. But even if it's too late for that, there's one thing I want you to know. Keiko, I love you. Like a Tato. I always have, and I always will. I want you to know that I've left a letter of resignation on Commander Sisko's desk. I'm ready to make the move down to Behr with you tomorrow, if you'll have me. And after that, if you want to move back to Earth, that's okay too. We can even go to Japan. You know, I'll do whatever it takes. I just don't want to lose you. Honey, did you hear what I said?
Yes.
And
I need time to think. Why don't you go to Commander Sisko's party? We can talk when you get back.
O'Brien looks devastated.
Oh, if that's what you want.
We focus on the corridor. Lwaxana has Odo on one arm and Bashir on the other as they head to Sisko's party. They run into Kira.
Major, aren't you headed in the wrong direction?
She looks at them blankly, eyes wide.
Commander Sisko's party?
Oh, I'm not going.
No, why ever not?
Because Burial will be there.
I thought the two of you were very happy together.
So did I. But it turns out he'd rather be with Dax than me. And to make matters worse, I have Jake Sisko chasing me around the station, professing his undying love?
That's strange. A little while ago, Jadzia had Commander Sisko convinced that she was in love with him. He even had me examine her to make sure she was all right. Apparently, it was just for a laugh.
Are you sure? People are acting very strangely today.
Maybe I should take another look at Jadzia's test results. Excuse me, Constable? Would you tell Commander Sisko that I'll be a little late?
Odo begins to lead Lwaxana away, who seems to have another headache coming on. A wave of something seems to hit Bashir and Kira.
Oh, what a laugh!
Oh my. Ooh.
They shake it off, and Bashir begins to walk back the direction from which he came.
Shake it off.
I should be getting to the infirmary.
I'll join you. Maybe you should examine Burial and Jake while you're at it.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
We focus on the infirmary.
This won't take long.
Oh my god. Kira and Bashir look at each other and grab the other in a lust-filled embrace. They are kissing with the frenzied passion of two teenagers in the backseat of a car. We focus on the wardroom. There is food and drink spread out along the tables, cheerful Bajoran music playing in the background. Miles is sitting on a window frame looking grumpy and staring into space. Odo is still trying to get away from Lwaxana.
What is it, Odo? I may not be able to read your emotions, but I can read your expression. Something's wrong.
I'm fine.
I wish you'd tell me what's bothering you. Maybe it would help you.
As soon as something bothers me, I'll let you know. I promise.
Oh, why do I find stubborn men so attractive?
Dax is at a table attempting to get some food. Burial behind her, resting his chin on her shoulder and attempting to snuggle into her neck. She is not okay with this.
Would you please stop following me?
Gladly, if you'll stop running away. I have something important to talk to you about.
Discuss it with Major Kira. I am not interested.
She walks away, pausing for a moment to run her hand along Sisko's chest as she walks by. Jake comes up and practically jumps on his father.
But Dad, you promised that Nerys would be here.
She will. And stop calling her Nerys.
Sisko gets his bottom pinched as Dax walks by again.
Pelder joy.
Oh, Commander. I didn't realize that you and Lieutenant Dax were that close.
We're not. Sisko to Bashir.
Bashir doesn't respond.
Computer. Locate Dr. Bashir.
Dr. Bashir is in the infirmary.
Constable, go get Dr. Bashir and bring him here immediately.
I'll be right back.
I'll go with you.
Yes, of course you will.
We focus on the infirmary. Bashir and Kira are still having a heavy makeout sesh.
I wonder what Commander Sisko wanted.
Oh, it can wait.
This is very embarrassing.
We have to stop.
Definitely.
Odo and Lwaxana enter. It doesn't faze Kira or Bashir, who continue to writhe and slither against each other.
Doctor, Commander Sisko needs to see you in the wardroom.
Oh, tell him I'll be there shortly.
Now, Doctor.
You better go.
Right.
They finally tear themselves away from each other and head out of the infirmary hand in hand. Kira greets Odo on her way past. Peldor joy. Odo is visibly disturbed. We focus on the wardroom. Dax is hiding behind Sisko. Boreal is in front of him, pleading.
Please step aside, Commander. I need to talk to Jadzia.
I don't think she wants to speak with you.
Dax is still running her hands across Sisko's chest.
You tell him, Benjamin.
I only want to give her this.
He holds up a gold bracelet.
A Bajoran
It's my
betrothal
family.
bracelet?
Oh, the Bajoran bracelet. Yeah. It's been in my family for generations.
Can I see that?
She snatches the bracelet from Boreal's hands, examines it quickly, and runs off. He attempts to follow, but Sisko stops him. Bashir and Kira enter, still entwined and kissing.
Nerys!
Jake pops up from his chair and rushes to Kira, not seeming to notice or care that she's bumping zippers with another man.
Am I glad to see you?
Doctor, I need your help.
I need yours too. You've got to get me away from Kira. I can't keep my hands off her.
And what's worse, I can't keep my hands off of him. Odo walks in, irritated. Sisko looks to him, eyes wide, and shrugs his shoulders.
I can't explain it either.
Lwaxana enters and puts Odo's arms around herself. Odo and Sisko shoot each other a look, not knowing what to do about all of this. Meanwhile, O'Brien is still sitting at his window, contemplating his recent fight with his wife. He is completely oblivious to what is going on around him. Jake comes over and sits with him.
Oh, she doesn't love me.
Who?
Nerys.
Ah! You're better off! In the end, they only break your heart.
At the sound of the door, O'Brien looks up. A look of surprise and excitement washes over his face.
Oh no! Sometimes it's worth it.
He gets up and heads over to the door. Keiko has arrived, wearing her red dress and a much happier expression.
What do you think?
Keiko! You look beautiful.
Miles pulls Keiko into his arms.
Did you really mean it about turning in your resignation?
Mm-hmm.
You better get it back before Commander Sisko sees it. It was nice of you to offer.
Mwah.
The O'Briens kiss.
Mm.
This is a different...
Sorry.
The O'Briens kiss. This is a different kind of kiss than Kira and Bashir. It's slow. It's loving. It's finally the reunion Miles had been longing for.
I love you so much.
Oh, I love you.
I am not a potato.
Keiko!
Quark enters with a tray of food.
Hey, Commander, here's the Onion Spice pudding you ordered.
Dax grabs Sisko's attention.
I want to give you this as a token of my affection.
It's Boreal's bracelet.
Oh, no, you don't.
Boreal punches Sisko. Oh, snap. A Vedic just punched the emissary. That's got to be against some kind of Bajoran religious law. What will the prophets think?
Boreal, listen to me.
Fight for it, but I have to.
Boreal continues to attempt to punch Sisko, but they don't land as Sisko easily swats them away. Dax rushes up and kicks Boreal's ass, knocking him to the floor.
I'm sorry, Benjamin. He was just starting to annoy me.
Dax puts her arms around Sisko as Quark stands over Boreal, tray of pudding still in his hands.
Commander, you throw one hell of a party. Pudding, anyone? I got a Onion Spice pudding.
Keiko rushes over to Boreal.
Are you all right?
Quark is still rushing about the room, trying to pass out his pudding.
Pudding, anyone?
He passes by Bashir and Kira, who are still making out in a corner. It doesn't seem to faze Quark, who just casually greets them on his way by.
Doctor?
He continues on, passing by Lwaxana.
Putting anyone?
Oh, no, thank you.
Lwaxana has another bout of whatever it is that's been affecting her head. Quark reacts as well. Sisko and Odo seem to notice this.
I'll definitely take one.
Quark seems to notice something on the other side of the room and just thrusts the tray into Dax's hands.
Here, help yourself.
He walks away and joins Keiko, who is still attending to Barile.
Why'd she hit me?
Forget about him. What about me?
Quark starts to rub his earlobe all over Keiko's ear and cheek in some sort of weird, involuntary umux. She is disgusted and appalled.
I need you, Keiko. My ears tingle at the sight of you. Marry me.
O'Brien grabs him by the lobes.
Oh!
You come here! She's taking Quark! She's my Keiko!
Easy, Chief. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Sisko points to Lwaxana and everyone turns toward her. She looks surprised.
What are you looking at me for?
We focus on the infirmary. Bashir has just completed examining Lwaxana as Sisko watches.
Xanthi fever. That's ridiculous. That's impossible. That only affects older betazoids.
That may be, but according to my test, you show all the symptoms of Xanthi fever. Sounds like a laugh, but it isn't. It's a virus which affects the empathetic abilities of mature betazoids. It causes them to project their own emotions onto others.
Then Mrs. Troi's amorous feelings for someone on the station were passed along to the people around her.
Not everyone. Only those within close proximity to her when she had an attack. And even then, there would have been some pre-existing latent attraction.
You're saying Dax...
Only on a subconscious level. Best not to think about it too much, if you ask me.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Commander. I hope I haven't caused too much trouble.
I'm sure no permanent harm was done, right, Doctor?
A simple wide-spectrum antiviral agent should cure Mrs. Troi. And as for everyone else, well, they'll be back to normal in a day or two. Excuse me while I reboot Windows, and I promise Nerys that I might meet her in the quarters this evening.
As he turns to go, Sisko lays a gentle, restraining hand on his shoulder.
I think you ought to postpone that visit for a day or two.
Bashir looks disappointed, but sees the wisdom of Sisko's advice.
Commander's log, supplemental. I'm happy to report that Dr. Bashir's diagnosis has been proven correct. My son and all the other affected by Mrs. Troi's condition have made full recoveries.
We focus on the promenade, upper level. Lwaxana and Odo are walking together.
This is one gratitude festival I've been talking about for a long time.
I know I'll never forget it.
I hope everything works out for you, Odo, with Major Kira.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. After all, I know what it's like to be attracted to someone who doesn't necessarily feel the same way. If you get tired of waiting for her...
She kisses him.
Oh.
Oh my God.
You know where to find me.
I'll keep that in mind.
She walks away. We focus on the airlock. O'Brien is there, saying goodbye to his wife and daughter.
So you're sure Dr. Bashir said your test results were negative?
That's right. Me headache was just a headache. I was never affected by Mrs. Troi.
Oh. I guess that means you don't have a latent attraction to me after all?
Not elated about it. Weren't you paying attention last night?
Ah, I was paying attention. You still have the touch, O'Brien.
So do you, Keiko.
He kisses his wife and then bends down to say goodbye to his daughter.
Take good care of Mommy, honey, okay?
Je vais, Papa.
See you in a few months.
I'll be here. Can you do something about Molly and the French, maybe?
I don't know.
Keiko and Molly leave. And then Bashir has a line.
Chief, well, there was no airlock. Chief, I'm your new wife now. Let's go play some racquetball.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Uh-oh.
Is Ashley gone?
Oh yeah, they're frozen. O'Brien turns and sees Bashir standing down.
No. Read it as Irish O'Brien.
O'Brien turns and sees Bashir down the hall, carrying 2 racquetballs, rackets, and a ball. Without another word, Bashir tosses one of the rackets to O'Brien, who catches it with one hand. O'Brien glances at the closed airlocks, and then he and Bashir walk down the corridor side by side. And with that, we found out on the real love story of this episode.
I kind of like that.
Yep.
Kind of a nice ending to this episode.
Yep.
That works.
One more, Xanthi.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, Ashley, you're back. And Kevin, you're back too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm also back.
If you want, well, we kind of read it, but if you want to do another read of it, throw it on the track. Throw it down. I'll go, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Do you want me to redo it?
Well, did you hear it? Did you hear my version? Do you think it was amazing? And you don't want to?
No, we were refreshing, so I didn't
Okay.
hear anything.
Go
but
go
it's
for
up
it.
to you.
You can do it. I don't want to step on you.
All right. O'Brien turns and sees Bashir standing down the hall, carrying 2 racquetball rackets and a ball. Without another word, Bashir tosses one of the rackets to O'Brien, who catches it with one hand. O'Brien glances at the closed airlock doors, and then he and Bashir walk down the corridor side by side. And with that, we fade out on the real love story of this episode.
And that concludes, finally, for a second time, actually, our reading of Star Trek Radio Theater's, what is this? Fascination for DS9. I'm Dave Mater. I was playing
What is this?
Miles O'Brien, and this is my lovely wife, Keiko.
Theater after
And
dark.
Jane Mater. How are you doing?
Good.
Yes. Yes. Can you work on a doctor?
Potato.
What's all of the French?
Keiko the potato.
Keiko.
Oh,
Let's-
that was a little bit.
Let's bring in the rest of our cast, shall we? Okay, next. Okay, just first here by Q, we have Mott Time Tyrell in the role of Vedic Burial, or what? you had-
Burial.
Burial.
Well, it was one pronunciation, and also Quark. Great job.
Hey!
Corey is great. Eh?
Yeah, you were doing the. You get off of my Keiko. Don't step on my Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I was going for your woman.
Yeah, you were trying, but no one messes with Miles Edwards O'Brien. in this station, I'll tell you.
It's like my freaking ears tingling like
Umax.
Yeah, the Umax.
yeah,
These Umax were tingling.
Keiko's the problem.
You were also giving me marriage advice is Quark too. You're like, just make her not wear clothes and not go anywhere.
I mean that was some foreshadowing. He saw, he was like, Keiko.
Yes, but let's bring in the true love, of Miles Edward O'Brien. We had Jeff Mader in the role of Dr. Bashir, and also was the computer. Yes, and we get to go off and play racquetball. Another 60 games.
Right. 60 or 70 games.
Another 7 more months will take. How many more racquetball games can we have in 7 more months?
7 more months.
7 more months. Yes, by then Marley will be saying set moise. I don't know how you were saying it. Okay, next we also have Adam Woodward, who is playing the role of Jake Sisko, and also Jadzia Dax, lovesick for the top brass of the station, and Kieran Sisko, respectively. Also, I was a lot of fun tonight. Adam, did you enjoy yourself?
I did, and I still think it's burial.
Hey,
and Nerys.
That was my.
No,
I didn't say Nerys.
Nerys.
Yeah, my was like in Philly we say Nerys.
I'll tell you what,
with the whiz.
Like unless you're gonna have like the pronunciation right there for me to read, I know when I like listen to it and like rehearsed, I said her name correctly, Nerys, but like when I look at it, it's Nerys.
Nerys. I get it. All right. Also, we had. Let's bring it in. We had Michael Chan in the role of Odo, as well as Jessica Chan in the role of Lwaxana Troi. That poor, tortured, painful man. You had to find his pain. Yes, and she was the one causing all the Xanthi fever.
The moaning was not me, by the way. Before I get a lot of private messages, inappropriate private messages online. That is not.
It does sound like
we need to address how that could be. Okay, so I said to Jane last night, we're pulling the sounds together, right? I was like, Jane, what should I play for the Xanthi fever? Like, should I play like something like this, like bow chick?
And Jane said, "No, hold on."
I was like, what about this? I like Googled sexy, and then that came out, and she was like, that's funny.
That's good.
Right.
It was funny.
I played it the first time, and then everyone died. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to play that a lot. From here on. You have no idea. That's the first of many.
I felt like we were in a Bleacher
Jane's been asking you to play it a lot.
I think it's going to make an appearance on all the other podcasts as well.
I
By high demand, it's Xanthi fever. Is how it's coming on.
That sound caused all the clicking, huh?
Right. And also, we had Kevin Millard as our station commander, Commander Sisko, pre-Captain Sisko, of course. And also Ashley Millard is Kira Nerys, as well as our narrator. Great job. The whole cast killed it. Watch out for that. It's a deadly one. And here at the Bajoran Gratitude Festival, I still have those. Yeah. And Peldor Joy. Peldor Joy to all of you.
Peldor
To
Joy.
you and your family.
Yeah. So, what was all your favorite parts tonight? Did you guys all enjoy? I thought this script really worked well for this format, just because there was a lot. There was all the characters were kind of overlapping, and it was not really a lot of action. It was just a lot of people talking in rooms. Yeah. So kind of. Yeah.
I really appreciated the narration because, like, as soon as I started watching the episode and they're like, we've been playing a lot of racquetball, and I'm like, right. Racquetball. Oh, I've got such a sore elbow for all that racquetball. Oh.
Look, they're practicing for an audition at the Dartmouth Recreational, Lions community or whatever. It's whatever Randy and Leahy say in Trailer Park. That's what they're doing.
But you heard it from Keiko herself, Jeff. It's O'Brien still got the moves.
Well, he's been practicing,
yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah. He's learned a few things from Bashir.
It's because O'Brien must suffer.
He's
right?
in the infirmary with Bashir playing doctor.
Yeah, yes. Just think about the total
Yeah.
number of days O'Brien has spent away from Keiko, because at the one episode where he goes to prison for like years and then he comes back, and then and then there's all these moments when she's on Bajor and he's waiting for her to come back. He has the Xanthi fever. That's the truth.
Yeah, he's like, why don't you wear the red dress? Is there something wrong with the red dress?
A little tight.
Well,
I
maybe
think
that's
Jane-
why I like it.
I think Jane did a great job as Keiko, sounding pissed off at Miles O'Brien, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
Thanks.
hard.
It wasn't hard.
She was kind of like, this is kind of, she said to me before the show, this is going to be therapy for me. Well, I'm not really Miles O'Brien, you know that, right? Like, or whatever,
Like if Dave was Irish and was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
go off with Sabar.
Go off with Sabah, your plants in Bajor. That was like, I just had so much fun playing O'Brien. I think this is the second time I've played him. Like, yeah, he's always, like this leprechaun O'Brien. I do. He's just one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So to do
Better than the Scottish
It's
O'Brien.
a television commercial. Nicky Tom's.
Yes. And they try to get to him, and they think they're eating cereal, but there's marshmallows, so this is fun. Anyway, I'm channeling Austin Powers. Okay. All right. Well, hey, what a day. What a show. Great job, everybody. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all did too. Here on in the Live Long and Podcast Super Mater Brothers Podcasting Trivial Debates Alliance, we have a whole bunch of different shows going on. Here on Live Long and Podcast on Tuesdays, we do D Space 9 at 9. Jeff Mater, what's going on over there on the station?
We're trucking through season 3. Sisko hasn't gone even half Hawk yet, but when he does, we will report.
We're
back to
approaching
you.
Hawk.
Yeah, we're approaching half Hawk and then almost full Hawk. It's coming fast. Stay tuned.
It's a quick metamorphosis. It happens near the back half of season 3, and we're coming up to it right now.
But we're covering it every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday night at 9 on Jameel Robinson, the tag team couple.
9-ish,
Also
9-ish,
sometimes later, sometimes earlier. Also on Wednesdays, usually sometimes at 7, times at 8. Right now we're at 8:00 p.m. Doing Star Trek the Original Series episodes, watching every episode not in order, watching random episodes. Adam Woodward, how's that going on over there?
Pushing through. How many episodes left? Like 16 or something? Or
18 episodes left.
Yep.
Are you going to do a recap?
We need
A
another
recap
lockdown.
Yeah, and we have 18 left of the 79. We kind of left a lot of the bad ones from that. But this Wednesday, we're going to be doing The Naked Time.
That's fun.
That's a good one.
Check that out Wednesday night.
It seems like we get 1 in 3 that are I think are really good, and then the other 2 are
there's
mediocre.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
some of
we-
us
we-
like certain types of episodes more than others. Some
True,
of us think
true.
that Gary 7 is like a masterpiece, and others think if it's garbage. So who knows?
Hey,
You know?
what we did determine though is that in 1960s there's 10 minutes more of TV than there should have been.
Yes, we know that much. Yeah.
That's true.
Also on our other channels, we have Super Mater Brothers Podcast, where we cover TV shows and movies and stuff that isn't related to Star Trek, including Marvel Cinematic Universe content. Jeff Mater and I are looking maybe to do Loki. We also have done Ashley Millard and Jameel Robinson and I have done things for WandaVision, as well as Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Probably doing other things like what's it called, Black Widow, and things like that when that comes out. So check out that stuff. Tiger King, The Serpent, different series, and Big Brother Canada at 9, and also looking to do Big Brother USA 23 coming very soon. And our monthly show, which is Trivial Debates, where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. Adam Woodward, you're hosting the next one, June 27th. We'll be getting that together. I don't know who the panel is, but I think Jody has already said I must be part of this panel. So I think we listen to Jody's going to be there. And then we'll be getting the other 2 contestants in place in the coming days and weeks. So check all that out. Thanks, everyone. Great show. I'm going to come off the air. Anybody want to say anything? No? Elder Joy.
Elder Joy.
Elder Joy. And